If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and the best is blessed, baby.
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. Keep it clean. Touch gloves if you wish. Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. It's time!
What up? What up?
Yo, what's up, bro?
Not much.
Happy Sunday to you.
Happy Sunday to you too. Shout out to Keela in the building. What you got going on, man? How you feel about last night?
It was two victories in particular that got me feeling very good, and I slept with a big smile on my face last night. I couldn't stop smiling.
Hey, you sound a little low.
I said it was two victories last night that had me pretty happy, and I couldn't stop smiling. I went to sleep pretty happy.
Yeah, me too. Overall, it was a good night. What's up, everybody? We are the MMA brothers here to break down this UFC 311 card. It was pretty good. Treated me especially well. Did pretty good on the gambling side of it. It delivered on the entertainment side. And
yeah, overall, I thought it was a pretty good card.
Let's get into it.
Let's do it. You can see the screen, right?
Yes, sir. All right. So to start off the night, kicked everything off in the prelims with Tagir Ulanbekov versus Clayton Carpenter. This fight went exactly how I expected it to go. I even called how I thought Clayton Carpenter had a chance, but I didn't expect him to win because of the experience. And you would see that he would have his moments, but I feel like he was just a little too I don't know how to explain it. Like he had a little too much like frantic energy. For example, he would get takedowns and he would try to like scramble and fish for submissions, which would allow Tagir to get back up. The first thing that popped off the screen to me is the size difference. I didn't realize Clayton Carpenter was so much smaller than Tagir. He did have his moments though on the feet, but overall it was Tagir grounding out a unanimous decision win. I felt like he used his range really well, and then when he did close the distance, he closed it with strikes, shot for takedowns. When he got his takedowns, he was able to pretty much keep Clayton Carpenter there for a while. He did at one point have a guillotine that I thought he was going to be able to close out, but Carpenter survived. Overall, it was a really entertaining fight, but Ulanbekov with the win, and he pretty much started the night off for the Dagestanis.
Yeah, this went exactly how we thought it was gonna go. Ulanbekov, he looked pretty good. Clay Carpenter, like you said, he was getting scrambled, but also, yeah, he was a little bit too frantic and wasn't as calm as I would like to see. So he lost a lot of positions. Yeah, this fight was pretty simple, straight down the middle for me. Two guard Ulanbekov with the victory.
Yep, played out how I thought it would. Next up, another bantamweight bout. First one of the night, we had Ricky Turcios versus Bernardo Sopai, and this fight was pretty fun. I expected Turcios to lose, but I wanted him to win. Basically, it was just Bernardo Sopai was the better fighter. He was more technical on the feet. He had way more power. But Turcios is just a dog, man. He turned it into a brawl, and I felt like that was his best chance of winning the fight. First round, he got tagged up with the jab. I think the jab was pretty much the story of the night when they were fighting technical. But Turcios realized real quick that I guess he was outgunned. So he turned it into a brawl, kept going forward, and the pace that he implements on people usually breaks him. It looked like he was getting ready to break Sopai. I feel like toward the middle of the second round, you could see Sopai was breathing real hard, taking big, deep breaths every like 10, 15 seconds, and he kept looking up at the clock. Turcios started putting the pace on him. Forward pressure. Really, really thought he was going to break him. Turcios, the second round was a toss-up. Ricky lost the first round. The second round was a toss-up. But I would have edged it off to Sopai. And the third round, I feel like Ricky Turcios got caught with an elbow, dropped him. But I felt like if he could have maintained the pressure that he put on him late in the second and early in the third, he probably could have ended up getting the finish. I think Sopai was starting to get a little demoralized because he was hitting this guy with like putting everything into his shots and he wasn't going nowhere. This was a very entertaining fight. The right man got the W, but I love the fact that both men gave it their all.
Hey, Sopai, she needed this victory real bad, especially coming off the last performance. Can you hear me good, bro?
Yeah, that was a brutal knockout. You sound a little low, but you clear.
All right. Yeah, Sopai, she needed this victory after the last knockout that he suffered. He's a young up-and-coming fighter. I think he got a bright future. Turcios, he's very, very tough and very game. Like you said, Sopai was hitting him with a lot of things, and Turcios just kept coming forward. He showed a lot of heart in this fight. I feel like there were certain points where somebody else would have kind of wilted under the pressure that Sopai was applying. But at the same time, you did see him start to gas a little bit during the later rounds. But he was able to pull it through. I was real proud of him for getting this victory, and I like to see where he goes from here.
Yeah, I'm a Ricky Turcios fan. I saw him win season 29 Ultimate Fighter, and so I was pulling for him. One thing that he did in one of those scrambles that was pretty impressive was Sopai had got a takedown, and while he was in Ricky Turcios' guard, instead of Turcios locking his legs around his back, he kind of locked them around Sopai's legs, and then he hooked one of his legs and used it to like sweep around and get back up. That was some slick grappling. And I feel like that's one of his biggest strengths. He's very unpredictable and wild, but once you get him on the ground, I feel like he got a lot of tricky submissions and scrambles and sweeps that is just impressive, especially if you enjoy the grappling. Some high level shit, bro.
Tricky Ricky.
Next up, and what I thought was one of the biggest upsets of the night, it definitely was odds-wise. We had Rinya Nakamura, undefeated Rinya Nakamura versus Muin Gafarov. When we broke this fight down on Friday, I did say that I expected Rinya Nakamura to win this fight. However, looking at all of the first round finishes that Muin Gafarov had, I thought that he was a live dog, but I didn't expect it to happen. I put my money on Rinya in a 4-fight parlay, and he pretty much messed it up. Muin Gafarov came out very first round, caught Rinya with a clean overhand right, and it dropped him. And I thought the fight was going to be over right then. Shout out to Rinya for the way he recovered, but from that point moving forward, I felt like once he felt that power, he was really hesitant to close distance. And being that he's a wrestler with power in his hands, I felt like the fact that he wasn't closing the distance pretty much eliminated him from taking any shots. He didn't shoot for a takedown probably maybe once or twice throughout the whole fight. I felt like that was his best path to victory. He does have power in his hands, but he was kind of almost even scared to trade because he kept getting caught with that overhand right. And he kept getting caught with a right hook too. He probably got dropped maybe 4 times in the fight. The first time he was really close to being finished. And then at some point, Gafarov just had him guessing. He was biting on every feint. He would try to close the distance, and he took a body kick that dropped him, kind of like pushed him back, knocked him off balance. And I just feel like the power of Gafarov stifled Nakamura's offense. And at some point, especially in the third round, I feel like he was more comfortable with just making it to the bell as opposed to chasing the win, because anytime he let his hands go and left himself open, Gafarov just caught him with nasty power shots.
Hey, bro, I got a question. Is this more of a testament to how good Gafarov is, or a knock on Nakamura?
I think it's a little bit of both, but don't get me wrong, I still see Rinya Nakamura as future champion. I don't think he loses too much stock from this, but Muin Gafarov, I think this really catapults him into I'm not going to say contender status. I'll say catapults him to prospect status.
Yeah, because he beat a highly touted prospect. So
right.
And this was, I believe, like his 3rd or 4th UFC fight, but it's like I can't remember the ones before. I remember this one though.
Exactly. It's like to a lot of people, it's like you may have watched him before, but you saw him for the first time tonight.
Exactly. I think it is a combination of both as well. I think that Gafarov, you got to put some respect on his name because, I mean, this guy's undefeated, and like you say, he outclassed him. You know,
yeah,
he dropped him. Nakamura really just at no point in this fight did I think he was going to win, except for when they were doing introductions, because when the fight started, he kind of immediately took center of the octagon, and he was more. I would say he was pushing the pace a little bit more, and then he dropped him in the first round, I think with about maybe a minute left. And that kind of, started like the downfall for Nakamura. I believe he dropped him twice in the second and then once in the third again. And like you said, with body shots, he was just pushing the pace. And I feel like he probably could have finished him if he would have been a little bit more aggressive. But when you're going against an undefeated prospect, I can understand him playing it a little bit safer just to get
and
the dub.
Not just that, but I felt like it showed a high level of fight IQ for him to every time he dropped ring, he didn't chase him to the ground. He let him get back up. Sometimes it really drives me crazy when I see fighters getting the better of someone on the stand up, and when they drop them, they follow them to the ground. If they just back up and force them to stand back up, then you're pretty much forcing them to fight where you have the advantage, and that's what Gafarov did.
Yeah, that's one of my major pet peeves, man. We see that so much in mixed martial arts. Nakamura, it's not, it's not the end for him. He can go back to the drawing board. He's still young, and he's still, he only had 9 fights, which isn't that many fights in retrospective. So, but yeah, this is a big upset, though. Definitely a huge upset.
Yeah, I think he'll learn from this and come back better. Shout out to Gafarov too with the wall-to-wall carpeting. All right, next up, final early prelim of the night. We had Carol Rosas versus Eileen Perez. I did pick Carol Rosa last night, but I did bet Eileen Perez for the simple fact that just looking at the odds, and I did see a path to victory for her. Thankfully, it paid off. This fight right here, Carol Rosas came out. She was landing a lot of leg kicks. They were nasty too. Eileen Perez got the takedown in the first. I knew that was her best path to victory. She kind of rode her out on the ground for I would say half of the first round. They finally got back to the feet, and Carol Rosas was showing that she was the better striker. First round, I would give to Eileen Perez, but not by a whole lot. I think the takedown and the ground control was the difference in the first round. In the second round, I don't know what it was, but I could tell that once she let Carol Rosas get back up, that she probably wasn't going to be able to take her down anymore, because the one that she got, she worked really hard to get, and 2 was stuff before that one. So in the second round, played out kind of how I saw it playing out. Carol Rosas was able to defend the takedowns, and it left Eileen Perez kind of lost. And Carol Rosas was starting to kind of mount a comeback. I feel like she wasn't aggressive enough. But then Eileen Perez caught her with a spinning back fist that kind of changed the way the round was going. And then Eileen Perez just pretty much stayed at distance through a lot of feints. One thing I did like, though, is the fact that even though she couldn't get the takedown, she kept feinting the takedowns. And I feel like just the threat of them being there was kind of stifling Carol Rosas, keeping her from letting her hands go. I think her best strike of the fight was the leg kicks, and she kind of abandoned them in the second round. So that left Eileen Perez up 2-0. And then in the third round, when Carol Rosas got a little more aggressive, which I feel like she should have been even more aggressive than she was, because it was obvious to me that she was down 2-0 and she needed a knockout. She kind of showed that she was the better fighter on the feet and won the third round, but it was too little too late. And I cashed out.
Nice. Yeah. This fight wasn't, I think it was pretty close. Perez was able to get a takedown at about maybe 2.5 minutes left in the first round, and kept her down there for a little bit. In the second round, she tried to get some takedowns. I don't believe she got any. Rosas was eating her up with the leg kicks a little bit, and she did hit the spinning back fist, which caught her off guard. And then I think in the third round, she was able to get 1 takedown. But for the most part, she wasn't able to utilize her game plan, and this showed a lot of fight maturity and IQ from her, because I thought that if she couldn't get a takedown, she would definitely get pieced up. She was able to, do enough on the feet to not get caught with Rosa strikes. This was probably, I would say, the biggest victory for her, even though she didn't get a finish. But this was definitely a pretty big victory for her.
Yeah, I feel like she's taking the right steps to kind of like every fight she's showing a little bit more improvement, and I feel like she's going to sneak up into the top 15 and possibly even to the top 10, because one thing she did show that is very important, I think, is when your plan A doesn't work, do you have a plan B? Do you have a plan C? Can you make adjustments mid-fight as opposed to just sticking to the game plan that you came into the fight with? I don't know if that's more of a fight IQ thing for her or if that's her coaches just giving her good coaching or what. But Carol Rosas, I know she's going to go back and watch this fight and be really disappointed in herself because I feel like if she just pushed the pace or if she just was more aggressive, then it's obvious that she could have got this win. But like you said, it is the biggest win of Eileen Perez's career so far. And how good do you think she can be?
I don't know if she can ever fight for a title, but I definitely think she can hit like the top 5, maybe. Like I can see her getting like a good co-main event fight, like a number one contender fight, coming up short or something like that. But she's definitely becoming one of my favorite female fighters.
I mean, to me, she's not really that exciting to watch, but she definitely has I don't know, like I always thought she was just like, okay, like that's the girl that twerk, you feel me? But her skills are starting to show true, and I'm just curious to see how far she can take it. I'm interested to see what would happen when she got matched up with somebody in the top 15, and that definitely may be next for her. I can't really see her. You know how some of those fighters you just underestimate until they get there. I kind of feel like that's how I'm gonna be with her. Like I can't see her beating nobody really in the top 10.
Hey, Carol Rosas' picture don't look nothing like her when she start fighting.
No, most females don't. Next up, lightweight bout. I was hesitant to bet on this one. We had Grant Dawson coming in against Diego Ferreira. And the reason why I was hesitant to bet on it is because Grant Dawson, I don't trust his chin. This fight had its moments. Grant Dawson came in and immediately got the takedown. Everybody knew that was his path to victory. Diego Ferreira, he was able to get up. At some point in the fight, Diego Ferreira took him down, and you can't really play into the other person's wheelhouse, but it was a couple of times where they were on the feet and they were throwing reckless. And I just thought, okay, this is where Grant is gonna get caught. But it never happened. I will say that even though he's a grappler, I do see his striking improving, and he does have a willingness to just trade, but I feel like that's gonna get him caught. And I don't know. I don't know, man. I feel like that's gonna end up throwing off a little win. I feel like he gonna build a win streak, and he gonna get in that situation where he just get reckless and he gonna have to go back to the drawing board. But overall, this was a pretty decent fight. A lot of the ground control time was kind of boring because it wasn't much going on. Huh?
I said because it's a Grant Dawson fight.
Yeah, but like he does have a good grounding pound, but there were a couple of times where he was on top and he was just throwing like pitter-pat shots just to keep the ref from standing him up. Like it wasn't really doing damage. But I was kind of surprised to see that in the stand-up exchanges that he was actually getting the better of some of them. He landed a mean inside elbow that kind of dropped Diego Ferreira. I don't know if you want to officially call it a drop because he didn't completely hit the ground, but he definitely buckled a couple of times. I think his youth is pretty much what gave him the edge in this fight. And Diego Ferreira, I didn't really like his game plan. He was accepting bottom position. At one point, he even heard his coach say, either get up or tap.
Yeah. That's another pet peeve of mine, too. When you get these fighters that just accept being on bottom, being in the guard, and they don't try to get up. Grant Dawson made this a Grant Dawson fight. He did his thing, man, and he utilized his game plan. I don't know how far he can go, especially in this division. I'm looking at the rankings now. Number 15 is Joel Alvarez. 14 is Jalen Turner. I would like him to beat Jalen Turner. Paddy Pimblett. Been want to see the knee number 12. I think that's a good fight for him.
No, I think the Paddy fight is a good fight for him.
Yeah, but I don't think the UFC would do that because they don't like if somebody beat Paddy, they don't want it to be Grant Dawson. You feel me?
Because they're protecting.
No, I can't say they protect him because they gave him Bobby Green. You know what I'm saying? And that's not an easy fight. You know?
Yeah, but they won't give him the Moicanos or the BSDs.
No. They shouldn't because he's not ready for that yet.
Huh?
I said they shouldn't because he's not ready for that yet.
Yeah, but I mean, give him somebody that's gonna match his grappling. Thinking Black say, "Get up or tap." Classic quote. Yeah, well.
Who would you like to see Grant Dawson fight next?
Paddy Pimblett.
Would you rather see him fight Paddy Pimblett or somebody like who was he supposed to fight? Moicano.
I'd rather see him fight Paddy Pimblett, but they probably would give him Moicano over him because if he loses, they want him to lose to somebody that's ahead of him. So I won't really bump him down. And now that Moicano has officially fought for the belt, I feel like if they was to have him and Paddy to fight, then it would probably be up from there. Actually, you know what? I take that back. Huh?
Because if you beat somebody like Moicano, they could say, "Oh, he beat a former title challenger." That's what you saying?
Yeah. And they would have to give him somebody. It will only be up from there. Trevor say Paddy just beat someone up at a gym and wouldn't release the choke.
I know. Your boy, Kobe Covington
you heard about
did that.
Who?
No, I didn't. I know Kobe Covington did that. I didn't know Paddy did that.
Yeah, that's crazy. You know what? I take that back. Grant Dawson should fight Beneil Dariush because that's who he called out.
Oh yeah, you're right. He did.
He said he wanted to fight Beneil Dariush in Miami in April. So give him that.
Hey, so that Miami April card is gonna be a fight night card, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be a pay-per-view. I would rather it be a fight night because it would be easier to go.
Yeah.
But it's probably gonna be a pay-per-view. I think they're doing a paper. You know, you got them certain cities where every year they do pay-per-views. I think Miami is gonna be one of those because this will be the third year in a row.
Yep.
But so next up we had Bogdan Guskov versus Billy Elikana. Elikana made this was his UFC debut. Took it on 1 week notice because Johnny Walker pulled out. As soon as this fight started, Elikana went and took Gafurov down, Gustav down, and he had him in trouble. He cut him open with some elbows. He took his back and got the body lock. He was chasing submissions, and I was starting to feel some type of way because I had Bogdan in the parlay.
Yeah.
But it would have been a huge upset if he could have pulled it off. Eventually, by the end of the round, Bogdan had gotten out of the choke and started doing some ground and pound of his own. He was threatening with I don't remember if it was a guillotine or a rear naked, but Billy Elikana survived the first round. And
it was a rear naked.
Okay. And then I had to step away. So So when I came back, I saw that the fight was over. So I didn't get to see how it finished.
Bro, so Billy got him with the takedown early, right? And then Guskov ended up getting him in the rear naked. And the thing is, Billy tapped after the bell sounded. So you know when they do the final horn blew, and then Billy tapped. And I guess it was so loud in the stadium that they couldn't really hear it. You feel me? So they started booing when they showed the replay. But when the second round started, you can see that Billy was kind of starting to fade off a little bit.
Also, he did tap.
He tapped, but it wasn't an official tap because it was after the bell.
Right.
Yeah. So in the second round, Billy his energy started depleting, and you can tell he looked at his coaches, and his coaches was like, "Yeah, all right." And in the corner, he just shook his head. And when I seen him shake his head, I knew it was over because you could tell he was defeated. You know, like he was like energy depleted, adrenaline dumped, just demoralized. Bogdan started piecing him up against the cage in the second round, and Billy fell to his knees, and then Bogdan looked at the ref, like threw his hands up, like stop the fight, and then he just got in like a little I don't know what kind of choke you would call it, but he did tap though, like a little bulldog choke kind of thing, and he just tapped immediately. But Bogdan, he did say he would like to fight Johnny Walker or anybody else, but I think they should do that rematch and let him get that KO. Because let's be real, he will KO Johnny Walker, and push him up in the rankings. I'm a fan of Bogdan.
So basically, from what you just explained to me, Billy O'Connor was looking for a way out, and instead of knocking him out, he gave it to him.
Yeah.
Billy did say pre-fight that he was gonna have to try to get him out of there early because he only had a week to prepare, and he didn't feel like he could trust his gas tank. But and I feel like probably getting choked in the first round depleted it even quicker. Hey, shout out to the people watching on Twitter, man. Thanks for the support. It would be cool if you could come and switch over and join us in the comments. But either way, we appreciate it.
Oof,
so you think they're gonna give Billy O'Connor another UFC fight? I think so, just because he took it on short notice.
Yeah.
Next up, we had Zachary Reese versus Azamat Bakoyev. Zach Reese.
Can I start this one off, bro?
Huh?
No, I said, can I start this one off after you give your...
Yeah, go ahead.
I see, can I start it off? All right, so basically, coming into this fight, I've seen Zach Reese fight 3 times. One of those, he got a slam TKO. He was on the receiving end of one. So I kind of threw that out the book. The second fight,
powerball.
Yeah, in the second fight, he had a 20-second KO. So it was kind of like a flash knockout. And I don't know, I didn't really know what to make of him. The last fight I seen him in, he went to decision and he won. So I'm thinking that he's pretty good. But, man, he got taken down in this fight. And when I say it was some brutal ground and pound, oh, man, Bakoyev caught him with some nasty shots. And the thing is, it was short shots, so I didn't think it was going to put him out. You know what I mean? Because I seen him getting hit. And I'm like, wait a minute, he's not moving. And then he got, a couple more follow-up shots, and he was stiff. And my brother is one for devastating knockouts. He loved the devastating knockouts. And this was the most devastating knockout of the night, definitely, bro. This was brutal. Because he didn't move for a while. And, like, they did the introduction, they did the fighter, his little post-fight speech and everything. And you seen him, like, having to be carried out of the cage. Literally. He couldn't even walk out the cage.
Carried out of the cage.
Well, he had both arms around somebody else, and he was escorted out the cage.
There you go. Hey, I'm pretty sure he would appreciate you putting some respect on that. You feel me?
Okay, yeah.
Like, don't tell nobody I got carried out when I was on my feet. God damn it, I was helped out. But yeah, so man, Zachary Reese, I feel like he had a lot of hype. It's crazy because this was the 4th time I saw him fight. I saw him win on the Contender Series, which got him into the UFC. And only other time I know I saw him get the knockout. Don't remember who he was up against, but the things that stand out to me so far out of his 4 appearances is him chasing the armbar against Cody Brundage and being too comfortable on his back, and chasing the armbar, chasing it, and then getting slammed, and still chasing the armbar, and then getting picked up and slammed again, slammed into a knockout. The other fight is this fight. He started off pretty good. Put some respect on his name. He was helped. Goddamn right. so in this fight, I feel like it was more the same, bro. They started off striking. I feel like he got dropped, or maybe he was taken down. I can't remember how they ended up on the ground. Osmat Bakoyev did show that he had some power in his hands. But once they hit the ground, Zachary Reese was comfortable off his back. He was throwing elbows from the bottom. He was actually winning the fight from his back. If you want to be honest about it, he was landing more shots. He was cutting them. He wasn't cutting them, but look, I thought it was only a matter of time before I saw some blood, because he was hitting them with those slicing elbows. And he was pretty much just landing more shots off his back. And I kept saying that, like, yeah, he's doing pretty decent from down there right now. He was chasing a triangle choke. He couldn't get that, and he never tried to get up. He was just comfortable on his back. And eventually, Osmat was able to land a short shot, and you can tell it got through, and it kind of like rocked him a little bit. And then he just unleashed the ground and pound, and then that's when he started trying to get up, but it was too late. And the last one that he caught him with, because he was on his back, but he kind of turned to the side and posted on one arm. And then while he was posted like that, he caught him with a shot that just like put his lights out. And then when he fell back down, his head bounced off the canvas and he was knocked out with his eyes open. Like it was kind of scary. And then you really realize how much power Bakoyev had, because those were some short shots. He didn't have a lot of room to work with when he landed them. But put Zachary Reese out. And yeah, it was pretty devastating. So that was, to me, a knockout of the night. And welcome to the UFC, Osmat Bakoyev. Kind of interested to see where he goes from here. We didn't really get to see much of his game. So I feel like whoever fights him next knows that he has the power, but everything else is still pretty much an unknown.
Man, it was real brutal, bro. Because it was like very rarely do you see people get knocked out and not move for a couple minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then when they do wake up, they still need assistance. You know, he got help to the stool and helped out the cage.
It was reminiscent to what we see playing in the background, kinda, just not as brutal. But it was also reminiscent to what happened in the that's 2 weeks in a row where we had a knockout like that where somebody had to be helped out of the cage. Because last week it was Abdul Razak Al Hassan. But you know what the difference between being helped out of the cage and carried out of the cage is?
What?
Shi Zhao.
Yeah.
She was carried out.
Yeah.
Anybody heard from her?
Nope.
You check up on her?
No.
We don't even know if she's like if she's still with us. What's going on?
I don't think we're gonna see her fight again.
Say it again.
I said I don't think we're gonna see her fight again.
All right, I'm gonna ask next week, next time.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive by Bakoyev, though. That was nice. I'm surprised he didn't get a bonus for that. I'm sure Dana White had to take care of him backstage.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did.
So the moral of the story is Zachary Reese, if you get taken to your back, just get the hell right back up, because it never ends good for you.
Never. But obviously, like, he has extreme, unshakable confidence in his jiu-jitsu. Yeah, the missus was kind of mad about that one because she parlayed Grant Dawson with Zachary Reese.
Ooh.
Next up, And one of my most anticipated bouts of the fight, only because of Peyton Talbot, we had the young up-and-comer, undefeated Peyton Talbot versus the vet, Hani Barcelos. What was your breakdown of this fight?
This was rough to watch only because I'm such a huge Peyton Talbot fan, and
As
I
am I.
was. Yeah, we all are. This was a classic example of a vet. I don't want to say he schooled Peyton Talbot because it wasn't like a one-sided ass whooping, but he definitely showed him what it is to be like a UFC vet. You know what I mean? And apparently, because we're not in the fighter meetings, but apparently in the fighter meetings, he was saying that as soon as the fight starts, he's gonna take him down. Like that's his game plan. And damn it, that's what he did too. Like as soon as the fight started, I believe within like a minute, he got the fight to the ground, and he was able to utilize his grappling. But once the fight waned on, I feel like the first round was kind of like a wash because he basically kept Peyton on the ground. When the second round started, I kind of seen Peyton. He kind of like was starting nodding. He said like he knew what he had to do like when the round started. So he tried to keep his distance. Yet when he did go in, be effective with his striking. Because try to keep Barcelos at the end of your jab. You know what I mean? And prevent the takedowns. He did stuff. I say maybe one or two, but eventually he got taken down again, and he did catch him with some good shots too. And I would say in the third round was probably his best round. He was catching him with good shots. So I like the fact that he didn't let Barcelos break him and get broken and just get destroyed all 3 rounds. That was pretty cool. But he did show heart, but he got to go back to the drawing board and just tighten up his grappling and his wrestling a little bit, or his takedown defense, working on his sprawl a little bit. But I still think the future is pretty bright for him, and I would like to see what's going to be next for him.
Hey, to me, this fight and a previous fight that we just broke down, Gafarov shows why this is one of the most volatile and exciting sports out there, because this is twice now on one card where you had somebody that was plus 700, plus 500, and it came out with a victory. It just shows you that anything can happen in the fight. And this is the most unpredictable sport ever. Look, like we had a fight where number 9 was squaring off against number 7, and somebody was getting a title shot, and they pulled out of the fight, and just like that, now you got a title shot tonight. Like yesterday, you was fighting to move up in the rankings, and today you're fighting to make your dreams come true. So this sport is very unpredictable. I feel like the odds versus the results, and a lot of these fights shows that. And this is one of those fights. Peyton Talbot, even though he lost, I'm a huge fan too. Even though he lost, I expected. I respected the way that he showed things in the loss that lets you know that he really is that guy. You get what I'm saying? I feel like every young fighter needs to go through some adversity and get tested so you can see what they're really made of. Are you just a hammer, or can you be the nail too? And when you're the nail, is it going to break you or not? He was in some pretty sticky positions, especially when he was fighting off chokes, and when Hani Barcelos had his back. But he stayed composed. Like, he was so calm. You didn't see him panic not one time. And I felt like that was the key to him, A, not gassing out, and B, it just showed you that he's comfortable being the nail. You get what I'm saying? As comfortable as you can be. But
yeah, I agree.
And it also showed him that, hey, he got some holes in his game. I feel like he definitely, just by the way he handled the adversity in the fight, I feel like this loss will make him better. And I expect him to go on a run after this. It did show him where his holes were. That being said, he was able to fight back to his feet after every takedown. And then I did see him make a pivot and an adjustment in his game plan, because he realized, for one, he got taken down so easy because that forward pressure, like, he just comes forward relentlessly. And so Barcelos was using that against him. And 2, It kind of made him like have to try to keep his distance in the second round and use more long shots. I would have liked to see him use like more teep kicks up the middle and threaten with some knees and uppercuts just to kind of like give Honey Barcelos something to think about before he shot.
But bro, don't you think
Huh?
if you would have did that wouldn't have made him more susceptible for a takedown though?
What, uppercuts and teeps?
Well, yeah, just uppercut, yeah, and teep kicks particularly.
No, I'm not saying like I would have liked to see him like threaten him like
Yeah.
whenever you see Barcelos kind of like getting ready
Coming
for a
in.
level change.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like feint that kick or feint that uppercut just to like show like, hey, you don't want to get caught with this coming in, you feel me? But overall, it was a good performance by Barcelos. He showed that he is the veteran and there's levels to this. There was a point in the fight where Barcelos went in for a takedown and he kind of used his momentum against him and flipped him and tripped him. I thought that was pretty cool, but what I didn't like about that was, all right, so he had him on the ground. He hurt him.
Yeah.
He had him on the ground, and he was kind of pounding him out. And I was saying, like, damn, you need to get up because it's the third round. You know you need to finish. Like, why are you down here with this guy? Barcelos grabbed the fence. Herb Dean separated him, and he asked Peyton Talbot, do you want the position back on the ground or standing?
Yeah.
And he chose to go back on the ground. I did not like that one bit.
Yeah, that was bad. I forgot about that one. That was bad.
Yeah, and when that happened, Barcelos ended up sweeping him and got on top of him and rolled out the rest of the round.
No,
actually, if it was more time in that fight, say it again.
That was low fight IQ right there.
Yeah, it was. If it was more time in that fight, Talbot would have got finished from making that decision. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, a couple things to work on, but I still see a bright future for him. And shout out to Honey Barcelos, man. Old vet getting it done. That was the last fight on the prelims, so we kicked off the main card with a middleweight bout. Almost said welterweight because Kevin Holland bounced back and forth. So we had Kevin Trailblazer Holland versus Renier de Ritter. And I was very disappointed in the way this fight played out. Pretty much, fight starts, de Ritter hits Kevin Holland with a jab, takes him down, and Kevin Holland seemed like he got a little comfortable on his back. It was like a recurring theme. Ended up getting choked out. It was just simple 1, 2, 3.
Bro, it's weird. I know I'm gonna sound like a hater, but I just don't see the Ritter being like that great. You know what I'm saying? Because in his last fight was his UFC debut against GM3, and he was supposed to be the submission ace. And yeah, he did get the finish, but it was kind of like the Frank Mir and Kokop fight where he got the finish, but the fight in totality wasn't impressive. You know what I'm saying? Because he gassed out. He was getting pieced up on the feet from GM3. He just looked tired and like a bit just, sloppy, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
In this fight, I just felt like Kevin Holland, not to take away from the Ritter, but I am going to take away from him a little bit. Kevin Holland just got too comfortable off his back, like you said, like he didn't get back up. And I would like to see how this fight would have played out over the course of 3 rounds, because I feel like he would have wore down and Kevin Holland would have started piecing them up with the jabs and everything. And I feel like Kevin Holland, would have got him, but he did get the submission. It was a pretty quick one, but I don't know. I'm still not sold on him.
I feel like Kevin Holland, man, he need to stay at welterweight. I feel like every time he fight a middleweight, if it's somebody that want to grapple him, that size advantage is too much for him, and they get him down, and they're usually able to hold him there. However, in this fight right here, this situation, the Ritter didn't really try to hold him down. He was chasing submissions, and he found one. Yeah, I would like to see Kevin Holland fight at welterweight. I know he don't like to live a welterweight lifestyle. Like he don't want to he would like to be able to just eat and live free, but
You gotta be more disciplined, bro.
Yeah, you got to be more disciplined and focus in, man. Because he lost like 3 of his last 5.
Yeah. JDM, your boy Kamzat.
MVP.
Yeah.
But to the Ritter's credit, I will say, because of the fight with Gerald Mearshart, he knew the path of least resistance, and he took it.
Yeah. We all Kevin Holland fans, man. We want to see him get some dubs. So go back to welterweight, be more disciplined, eat right. You just cut the weight and do what you got to do.
Next up, we had Jailton Almeida versus Sergey Spivak, heavyweight division. This fight was pretty much open and shut. Spivak came out, took Jailton Almeida down, got him with some mean ground and pound. Jailton Almeida was able to reverse position, started doing a little ground and pound of his own. Spivak was able to get up. They were standing on the feet. And Spivak was kind of like landing some hands, but then Jailton Almeida came back and rocked him. And ended up getting the TKO. He hurt him. He caught him with like a mean 1-2, then hit him with a hook. And you saw Sergey Spivak kind of turtle up and started going back towards the cage, and Jailton Almeida just started letting his hands go. I can't remember. Didn't he end up mounting him and getting the TKO that way?
Yeah. He mounted him and flattened him out from the back, and then just started pounding him, and that's how they stopped the fight.
Yeah. So shout out to Jailton Almeida getting the finish and helping me out because I put him in the parlay with the fight that's coming up next. But this was, I want to say, we started off the night with nothing but decisions, and then after that, we just started getting finish after finish after finish.
Yeah, Sergey
set it off.
Yeah, Spivak, not me, but somebody labeled your tattoo as the worst tattoo of the night.
Say again?
I see somebody labeled his tattoo as the worst tattoo of the night. I don't think
Spivak.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad, but the little polar bear inside the octagon.
Oh,
but
okay,
yeah, this was good. I'm an Almeida fan, and I don't hold a Derek Lewis performance too much against him. I stated it on a preview show. Go back and check it out. This was very impressive. Even though I did pick him to win, and he should have won this fight, is the way he won. You know, he showed aggression, and he didn't just lay and pray. That was the worst thing he could have did. You know, take him down and lay and pray like he did the Derek Lewis thing, but he showed that he's grown as a fighter since then, and I like him in the heavyweight division, bro. He is a small heavyweight, nonetheless, but I feel like with his grappling and jiu-jitsu skills, you know what I'm saying, he showed the ability to get a TKO off the ground, which we haven't seen too much from him. This is pretty good. I like this.
Yeah, Jailton Almeida becomes the third person in the UFC to beat Sergey Spivak. The other two being Tom Aspinall and
Tsarukyan.
Tsarukyan, yep.
Almeida, he's ranked number 6 in the heavyweight division. Who do you think he should fight next? I say he should fight at number 4, Sergey Pavlovich.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Why not? I ain't seen Sergey in a while. That fight could go either way. If he can get the takedown, I could see him grounding him out, but he could get knocked out before I get there.
Yeah.
Pavlovich all of a sudden on a 2-fight losing streak. It's crazy, right?
Yeah. Oh boy.
Next up, and
this is my fight right here.
We had former UFC light heavyweight champion Yuri Prochazka,
the samurai,
ranked number 2, versus former UFC light heavyweight champion Jamal Hill, ranked number 3.
Sweet dreams.
Yeah, Sweet Dreams Hill. Give me 1 second.
All right, I'm gonna take this fight since this is my fight, my favorite fight.
Let me just say that both guys never lost their belt in the octagon. They both lost them due to injury. They both won them off of the same guy. Prochazka has the belt. Who was it? It was Glover Teixeira had the belt. He lost it to Yuri Prochazka, and then they were supposed to have a rematch. Prochazka gets injured and steps Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill beats Glover Teixeira, and now he's the champ, and he's supposed to fight Prochazka. When Prochazka comes back, Jamal Hill gets injured, and then in steps Poatan. So now this is a fight that was about like a year and a half, maybe 2 years in the making, and it finally came to fruition. And take it away.
Oh my goodness, bro! This was an amazing fight. Since this fight was announced, I was sticking with Yuri, and I was pretty confident in it. But then leading up to the fight, I don't know anybody that picked Yuri to win. You know what I'm saying? Like listening to all the podcasters and just all the fighter picks themselves. Everybody was saying that Jamal Hill, he's more technical. Yuri, he's finna get into a brawl, and that's gonna be his undoing. And even though, don't get me wrong, he has his hands down low, man. Like it be scaring me, but it works for him, though. You know, like can't nobody else get away with it, but it works for him. I feel like Jamal Hill was overlooking Yuri a little bit. I've been hearing him trash him on this podcast a whole lot. You know what I'm saying he a bum and he not this and he not that and all that kind of stuff. Yuri, he's able to with his awkward style just land those awkward shots that they coming from different angles. I never seen Jamal Hill. Yeah, I seen him get knocked out once, but obviously I never seen him get beat up like this before. Yuri dropped him in the first, and I want to say he dropped him in the second, and he dropped him maybe twice in the third. Jamal Hill definitely took a beating. He took some punishment, and he showed that he got a chin. You know, some people were saying that he don't have a chin because of the Poatan loss, but that's Poatan, so I don't hold that against him at all. He showed a lot of toughness in this fight, bro. Like a lot of toughness, because I feel like that was anybody else that would have been put out by Yuri shots, you know. And even with the knockout, he was still like he wasn't put out, you know what I'm saying? But Yuri, man, this fight here just made me even more of a fan than I already was. He's definitely my favorite light heavyweight fighter. And probably Poatan to be number 2, but the stare down too for this one was pretty good too when he got into the octagon.
Yeah, 2 intense 205ers, man. This fight right here had me on pins and needles. I was one of those that subscribed to the thought that Jamal Hill was a little too technical and Yuri is a little too hittable. Yuri did improve his head movement. He looked faster than he normally is, and I feel like he was able to see the shots coming better than he normally does. He was avoiding a lot of things. At some points, he did have his hands up more than usual, but for the most part, same Yuri. He has the most awkward style you'll ever see in MMA. He's kind of reminds me of the Augustus Emmanuel Burton. What he is to boxing, or he was to boxing, is what Yuri is to MMA. I feel like this fight was on the feet the whole time. Both guys going to war. Yuri just makes you nervous when he's fighting because of the way he keeps his hands down and stays in the pocket at the same time, and just mostly relies on head movement as defense. And he kept throwing this head kick, spinning back fist combination, and I feel like he was trying to set Jamal Hill up because the way he would throw the head kick would be like a little lazy. I feel like he was expecting Jamal Hill to rush in and try to counter it and try to catch him with a back fist. These guys stood in the pocket and banged it out for most of the fight, man. This was definitely fight of the night. Definitely lived up to expectation. Definitely helped put some money in my pocket because I took Jailton Almeida and parlayed it with this fight to not go the distance. So that helped me out. Yeah, Jamal Hill did get dropped in the first round. I thought the fight was going to be over. Yuri stood over him to try to finish him, but he didn't commit to going to the ground, which I thought was smart. But when Jamal Hill got back up, he you know what impressed me about Jamal Hill last night? The way he recovered. His recovery was pretty impressive. I seen him take some shots that dropped him that would have put a lot of other people out. He did show that he came to win. There was no fighting, no quitting him. I feel like anybody who was kind of doubting Jamal Hill not really knowing how good he is, he kind of proved it last night as far as with the toughness and whatnot. Because that fight with him and Glover was a war too.
Yeah.
So both of these guys being in wars, like this is one of those fights too where like what makes it exciting to me a lot of times is when it's a fight where you can't really call, like I don't know who gonna win. I didn't know who was gonna win. I did pick Jamal Hill, but money wise, I just knew it wasn't gonna go the distance. You get what I'm saying? So second round, they were going back and forth. I felt like Jamal Hill won the second round. Fight of the night. Well earned on this one. Yeah, Hill 100% displayed toughness. Absolutely. I felt like Jamal Hill won the second round, and that third round was going to decide the fight. And Iri Prochazka came out even more aggressive in the third than he did in the first two. Dropped Jamal Hill. Ended up getting the TKO. When he dropped him, I thought, okay, this is definitely over. He tried to stand over him and finish him. Jamal Hill got back up. And when he got back up, it looked like he had his legs already. I was like, what the hell is going on? And they started doing some dirty boxing. And eventually Jamal Hill, just the shots added up. And you could tell he wasn't 100% there. But he was trying to fight through it. But the body had something else in mind. And he's eventually succumbed to the attack. And it was a wrap. I was happy for Iri Prochazka. And he's wanting to fight Alex Pereira for a third time.
No, don't want to see it right now.
So what would you say would be next for him? How would you match him up?
Yuri should fight Carlos Alborg. Jamal Hill should fight.
Alborg got a fight with Blachowicz.
What he do?
Yeah.
Man, what they be doing with y'all, man? Like, God.
Yeah,
I
think he had another shoulder surgery or something.
Man. All right, yeah, so if Alborg gonna fight him, then Yuri
should get the winner, right?
No, let him fight Khalil Rountree.
Ooh, that's a nice one.
Or he can get the winner of that and then put Rountree and Hill against each other. Or you could do Hill and Dominic Reyes, you feel me?
Hey man, matchmaker Bones in the building.
Yeah, the UFC need to hire me for real.
Yeah, you just laid that out perfectly. And then I feel like the light heavyweight division is starting to get exciting again, bro.
Yeah, it is. Hey, but one thing though, I feel like Jamal Hill, like I do like him. I'm a fan, but I feel like he overlooked Yuri in this one because he just keeps talking about pull time, bro. Like whenever I see his podcast or I see a clip from his podcast, only thing he's talking about is pull time. You feel me?
Yeah, I don't know if he overlooked him or if he just felt like, okay, well, yeah, I guess it's the same thing. Felt like I had so much confidence I'm gonna win this fight, and I'm trying to build up pull time, but it's like, man, pull time is the 100 right now, ain't
he? Yeah. Which, by the way, they made it official last night, bro. If you want to announce the fight for pull time.
Yeah, Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev, UFC 313. You say they made it official last night because that's when they announced it, but I announced it Friday. Just like I announced on that same card that they were doing Dan Hooker versus Justin Gaethje. You know, your boy had your ears to the pavement.
Yep.
You see the commission putting in the work while off the clock? Absolutely. All right, so next up,
Let's go.
you know,
I love
hey,
this
one
fight.
thing I'm gonna say about that last fight, what's crazy to me is this was number 2 versus number 3. So it's like you can't really go like if you just went strictly by the rankings, it's like he technically should get the winner of Alkalaya versus Poatan.
Yeah.
But we'll see how that play out. But next up, in the co-main event of the evening, we have the undisputed champion Marab the Machine Dwalashvili taking on the undefeated challenger Umar Nurmagomedov. And this was also a hell of a fight. I thought the previous fight was fight of the night until this happened. I felt like it was 1A and 1B. But I can see how somebody wouldn't appreciate this fight. You get what I'm saying? Because it wasn't just an all-out brawl. It was very technical, some high-level
Right.
shit right here. Like you can see why both men were where they were. Shout out to Umar, man, because up until this fight, he had only fought one person in the top 5, and so you didn't really know how good he was, but you did know if he could beat Corey Sandhagen, then he kind of belongs in the top of the division. Marab Dwalashvili was the underdog. Felt like they was disrespecting him just because the Nurmagomedov name and the 18-0. Both of these guys are wrestlers. It's just Umar is the way better striker, and this fight was another example of when a fighter has more skill than you, but you just outwork them, put a pace on them, and you got more dog in you than they do. The Machine was just that, the Machine. I felt like he won round 1, but round 1 was extremely close. It was kind of hard to call it. Umar Nurmagomedov has never been taken down in his UFC career, in his MMA career, I should say. And Marab took him down at least 6 times, maybe even 7. I don't know if you want to make that bigger so we can look at those stats, but so the first round was a swing round. It could go either way. I felt like Umar showed that he was faster. He definitely has a wider variety of attacks. Yeah, he had a wider variety of attacks. He was faster. He had a nice jab going, and those kicks were pretty fast too. They came out of nowhere. Marab seemed like he pretty much stayed safe for the most part, avoiding most of the big shots. Marab kept coming in with this overhand, and the overhand was landing, but it was like he wasn't throwing combos. It was just a one shot and out of the way type of thing. I can't even see that. It's so small.
It says that Marab landed 7 takedowns.
Okay, so that gives him the UFC record for most takedowns in a career, surpassing George St. Pierre. The second round, Umar definitely won that round. He was able to take Marab down at one point.
It say one takedown. You gotta land more than 1 takedown.
That might, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, go ahead. My bad, bro. Go ahead.
No, you good. So basically, I felt like if you look at the judges' scorecards, you can see 2 judges gave Umar the first round, but basically rounds 3, 4, and 5 were all Marab, and I feel like each one was more convincing for him than the next. But this was really some high level stuff right here. Both men had excellent takedown defense. I feel like the difference was just Marab's gas tank. He showed you why they call him the Machine. He kept the forward pressure. You see Khabib in the corner freaking out. I feel like he started going to the body. Umar obviously got gassed. And Marab, once he saw that he was starting to wear down, he just turned up the pressure even more. Joe Rogan said it best. this guy looks like he's breathing hard and heavy, and while the other guy looks like he just woke up. Like it was just his pace and pressure is insane to me, and I feel like that overcame the skill of Umar, and Merab was able to walk away with his belt. What I did not like from Merab is he was extremely he started getting playful, man, like and not focusing.
Showboating too damn much, bro.
Showboating a lot. He at one point he had Umar up against the cage, and he was talking to the commentators, asking them if they having fun, if they enjoying this and this, that, and the third. And then after he got done having the conversation, he just went and picked Umar up. He turned him around actually, and then picked him up and put him down. And it's a couple times where he got the takedown, and then like he just put him to the ground and then walked away. Like, all right, get back up, come on. So I kind of get what he was doing. He was showing you that, like, yeah, I'm in full control, but I feel like eventually one of these days, like that's gonna come back to bite him. And then even at the end of the fight, when he took him down, and then he was on top of him, and when he heard the 10-second clappers, he just got up and started walking away with his hands up. Like he could have easily got caught with his back turned. And I remember it almost backfired on him against O'Malley. So I would like to see him stay more focused. I know he's trying to make it look like this is easy, this is nothing. And it's kind of cool, but at the same time, I don't want him to end up paying for that. So Merab was on a 11-fight win streak. He extended it to 12. And Umar took his first loss of his career. So now that's a reoccurring theme of the night is people getting their first L and people settling for being on bottom.
It was 3 people that got the first L taken away. Rinya Nakamura, Peyton Talbot, and Umar Nurmagomedov, baby. Hey, Outlaw 77. Bones, I thought you liked showboats. I do, but at the same time, we needed this one to not go to the Dagestani so bad. I didn't want no room for error. You feel me?
What you mean?
Yeah.
Who's we?
The Bones and the Bones Nation, you know what I'm saying? The whole pirate crew right there, you feel me? But Merab, I was telling somebody, I was like, this isn't we're not in this for, a sprint. We're in this for the long haul. This is a marathon fight right here. 100%, Umar, I do respect him, and I do know that he has good clinch work, good takedowns, and he even has. I would even say he has a better stand up than Merab do.
Definitely, for sure.
And you even said something to me last night. I'm pretty sure you said Umar's a better fighter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with that. But when you take into account the gas tank, that's something that you can't really see on paper, and the stats don't show you. You know what I mean? And I guess that's something that the odds makers didn't take into account. My whole thing was Umar. He only had one significant win against Corey Sandhagen, and I watched Corey Sandhagen interview twice since that fight, and both times he said his wrestling wasn't as stifling as I thought it was. I wish I'd have let my hands go more on the feet. He was intimidated by the name, basically. You know what I'm saying? Long story short, Merab, he's not gonna be intimidated by that name. Merab, he has a gas tank that's out of this world. He's like a hybrid car with the electric and the gas. He just keep going. You feel me? Like he don't run out. Round 1, I did give it to Merab. Maybe that's me being biased, but I can understand how people would give it to Umar. Round 2, definitely 100% with the Umar, with no doubt. But then you seen after round 2 when Umar started going in his corner, he looked a little labored, a little tired. Merab just ran there. Merab didn't use a stool throughout the entire fight. This is a 5-round championship UFC fight. Merab refused to sit down. That's just how tough he is, So round 3 came out, and then Merab, you started seeing him starting to weigh on Umar a little bit. And I ain't gonna lie, Merab getting these little wild exchanges, bro, kind of had me nervous,
Yeah, it was one time when he got clipped and he buckled a little bit.
Yeah, and I think that was in round 1 or round 2. I don't remember. So in hindsight, I can see why you would give Umar round 1, because I think that was in round 1 where you kind of staggered him a little bit. but in round 3, Merab started taking the fight away, and then you seen after every round, Umar was more tired and a little bit more tired. Around 4, he was gassing out a little bit. Merab was able to take the fight away, and then in round 5, he started getting real comfortable in showboating. And I did check online, bro. He was 7 for 30 with takedowns. So he took him down 7 times, and he tried 30. And it's like he tried 30 because he obviously, he's not going to take him down every single time. But it just gave him something to think about. And a lot of those times, I mean, I guess you can call it a takedown attempt, but he would just like grab his leg and Umar back up, and then he'll hit him a couple of times, And then after a while,
keep him thinking about it, letting him know just because you're stopping him, I'm not going to stop trying him.
And then after, because like rounds 1, 2, and 3, I don't think he got a takedown. Definitely in rounds 1 and 2, but round 3, I think he got like the first official takedown around 3 or 4. And you can tell like Umar being never taken down in 18 UFC or 18 fights is very demoralizing when you finally get taken down, with the name on him and the Magomedov name. But the best shot of the night, I should have photo clipped it. Eventually I will. Was Khabib yelling to the top of his lungs, and you can see the despair and just the agony in his face. I loved it. It was amazing. Merab, I'm a huge fan. I'm even more of a fan now for retaining that belt. And now what are they going to do now, bro? Are they going to rush him to fight again in 6 weeks, 2 weeks? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Give this man a break. Let him enjoy his title. Give him a little bit of time off. And we'll see him later on this year.
How you think Dana felt about this?
Oh, he was pissed, bro. And he didn't even like who Merab was talking to him after the fight. Even though Merab was going to talk him to death. But, Dana not happy, man. Dana not happy.
Yeah, I was pretty happy for Merab, man. He had a murderous road to get to the title, and now that he got it and he got a defense under his belt. Shout out to Longo Camp, man, for 2 back-to-back bantamweight champs. So I doubled up on this fight because I took Merab straight up, and then I parlayed him with the next fight. So I just felt like you're never gonna see Merab at plus money, and now whoever
Especially
he fights from moving on, whoever he fights, bro, he will be the favorite. I can guarantee you that.
And see, that bothered me because, I know Nurmagomedov good, but how do you have him, you had Merab as a plus 250 underdog, that was insane. So I took Merab by decision, and I parlayed it with Islam for a straight out win.
Cool. Hey, man.
What's up?
Let me just take a pause real quick just to say, Ravens fans are still calling me. Like, damn, man. Bro, that was
that was last week,
man. Come on, man. Chill out. Worry about Buffalo right now, man. Y'all gotta go play in that weather, man. Just chill out. Y'all probably gonna be on the couch with me next week. So all y'all Ravens fans that's blowing me up, man. I get it. Y'all did that. I know y'all don't normally beat us, but y'all did. And so worry about Buffalo, man. You looking in the rearview mirror, in the future you're gonna crash.
All right, so bro, my question to you, I'm gonna just read out the top maybe 5 or 6 rankings. Obviously, you got Merab as champion. Number 1, Sean O'Malley, he beat. Number 2, Umar Nurmagomedov, he beat. Number 3, Peter Yan, he beat. Number 4, Corey Sandhagen, coming off a loss. Number 5, Davison Figueiredo, coming off a loss. Number 6, Marlon Vera, coming off a loss. 7, Cejudo, he beat. 8, Song Yadong. All right, who does he fight next?
And that's the problem with going through the murderer's road to get to the title. By the time you get there, you beat everybody already. So now, mostly what you see in live form are rematches. And I believe they will probably give him a Song Yadong. Well, they'll probably let him take a break and let the division play out a little bit. But I could see if Corey Sandhagen get a win.
Man, put Corey Sandhagen versus Song Yadong and let that be the next title contender.
Sandhagen want to fight
O'Malley.
And I feel like when O'Malley come back, they'll probably make them run it back.
Hey, so
Hey, and that'll probably be in Miami.
yeah. I have a question. I've been
They try to
thinking.
act happy while they still can.
I think that fighters who have longevity in the division should get title shots because, like, in a situation like this, uh, not in this division, but like Jim Miller, I would like to see Jim Miller get a title shot. He may not win it, but I think something should be said for him having all these UFC fights and everything like that.
Yeah,
That could be a body shot discussion.
absolutely. Anything else you want to add on this fight?
Nah, I hate when they do this with the pictures.
Yeah. So, last but not least, main event of the evening, we have ranked number 9, Hanato Moicano versus the undisputed champ, Islam Makhachev. Tell me what you thought about this fight.
This fight went, kind of how I expected. Except for I did expect Moicano to last at least a round or two. My prediction was 4th round submission. You straight up told me, you was like, bro, it ain't going 4 rounds, and I should have listened to you. But that's why I just picked Islam to win straight out. I didn't pick like a method of victory or a round or whatever. But
See, I just picked this fight to not go the distance because I was looking at all the different things you can pick as far as it's crazy because there's more to say about how we picked on this fight as opposed to the fight itself, to be honest with you, because it was like probably like 2 minutes at the most.
yeah,
Basically, I was looking at the odds and being that Nurmagomedov was minus 1,200, I was trying to find some value as far as what props I can use to kind of level it out. I started to pick the under 1.5 rounds, but I thought it was possible it could go 2. And if it happened like within 7, like after 7 minutes, then I still would have lost that one. I was thinking Islam by submission, but I felt like he could knock him out as well, so I didn't really know where to go with that one. So I just picked it to not go the distance and parlayed it with something else, and it paid off for me, man. Basically, Islam comes out, they exchange it a little bit. Hanato Moicano, it looked like he clipped him, but really Islam slipped. He kind of the punch kind of landed like in the arm. Islam kind of slipped, trying to back out of it. Eventually, Islam caught him with a long jab, and it kind of like backed Hanato Moicano up a little bit, and then he grabbed him, and he was going for the takedown. Moicano fought it for a little while, but he was relentless with it, didn't give up, and that extra effort allowed him to take it to the ground. And once he got him down, he looked like he was fishing for an anaconda choke. Hanato Moicano kind of rolled out, and then he caught him in the darts, and it was a wrap. The real question is, does Islam have the nastiest chokes in the game right now?
probably because I forgot the Poirier. Not to bring up a sore subject, bro, but he put Poirier out though. Even after Poirier tapped, I'm pretty sure Poirier went out a little bit, and
yeah, he did quick too.
Yeah, I done seen him. He put out Bobby Green. I done seen him put out a lot of people, bro. Like out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Oliveira, you see how quick he tapped when he got him in that anaconda.
Yeah, it's something about that Dagestani strength, man. That out of all Dagestani fighters, I feel like Islam. I have a lot of respect for him. He's what Khabib is hyped up to be. You know what I'm saying? Because with Islam, he got good striking too. With Khabib, we never really had to worry about his striking, but Islam, he's the real deal for sure.
So you think he deserved that number 1 pound for pound ranking?
I may not agree with it or like it, but yeah, I can't really argue with it though.
Only other argument is John Jones.
Yeah.
And well, what about Paul? Activity right now.
Whoa! What about Poatan and Ilya?
Nah, because I don't feel like they've. I don't feel like
yet?
they've. Huh?
You don't think they've done enough yet?
I'm not gonna say they haven't done enough, but they haven't done as much. Look, like he just broke a record for most defenses of the lightweight title. You get what I'm saying? And he's been finishing everybody lately. So has Poatan, but he don't have as many title defenses.
What's next for Islam? Who should he fight next?
Oh man. Well, Dana said himself that Tsarukyan lost out on the opportunity, and he has to work his way back up to the title. And they asked if
did he say that at the press conference last night?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so then they asked Dana, so do you think he could have fought? He said, I don't know. Only he can tell you that. But I feel like he wasn't trying to trash him like we've seen him do sometimes. And I feel like he feels like he could have fought. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I don't know what's next for Islam. I will tell you this: there was a point where I really didn't want to see him versus Dariush, but now I feel like Islam has evolved to the point to where that wouldn't even be the fight that I thought it would have been.
Yeah.
So I really don't know what's next. He could move up and try to be champ. I would rather him stay in his division, but I know he wouldn't do that with Islam with Bilal holding the belt right now. So I really don't know what's next for Islam.
What about Charles Oliveira?
Oliveira, they can make that happen, or he can run it back with Dustin Poirier.
Nah, that ain't happening, bro.
Put that in Miami, man. Poirier versus Islam. Poirier come in without the busted ribs, and let's see what happens. No? You're not down for that? I don't know. He must have fell off, but either way.
I was saying Poirier should fight Holloway for the belt, for the BMF belt.
And if Poirier win, he get Islam?
I mean, shit, if you want to, I just don't want to see Islam get the belt, but I don't think Poirier's the guy to take it from him. Poirier only got 1 or 2 more fights in him, maybe 1, right?
Yeah, I know. Hey, if Justin Gaethje beat Dan Hooker, maybe you could do that. You know, Islam not fighting again probably till October.
Yeah, because of Ramadan.
Yeah, and so they got time to figure that out and see where they're gonna go with that. You can see if Gaethje beats Islam, Hooker. You can see what happened with the Holloway fight. You could probably throw Holloway in there with him. I don't know. I think the only person that I could possibly have seen taking the belt off of him was Armin, and now that's not gonna happen. So,
my prediction is that this is gonna be one of those fights that what if, because I don't think Armin ever gonna really get that title shot again. It's just a prediction. I could be wrong, but
honestly, that's what I would want to see the most right now. I would like to see them rebook that.
Yeah, I think Dana pissed though, like you said.
Yeah.
All right, bro. So you ready to get into our KO of the night, beat down another night, and go over our tallies and stuff?
Let's do it.
All right, give me a second. Let me bring it up. Overall, what would you give the card if you got to grade it? Y'all got Marab as GOAT.
The prelim.
Hey, bro, you got a question down there.
Y'all got Marab. Says y'all got Marab as GOAT. Bantamweight and top 10 of all time.
Well, he's a top. I think he's a top 10 bantamweight of all time. As far as GOAT status, I don't want to put that on him yet. I like to see him defend.
You got the Dominic Cruzes out there. You got the I would say Uriah Fabers, but I feel like Cruz surpassed him. You can't forget about Aljamain Sterling. So I would like to see him get more title defenses, and then we can start having that conversation. But the win streak itself is impressive with 11 in a row. Well, 12 in a row now, but I wouldn't give him a GOAT status yet. I would say best bantamweight of all time is either Dominic Cruz or Aljamain Sterling. You can throw TJ Dillashaw in there too, but
TJ Dillashaw?
Yeah, pretty much. Everything got an asterisk on him for that. Thank you. Some sensible people. These new fans be rushing the GOAT discussions. I appreciate
Yeah.
that. Yeah, they do. They do. Every impressive performance come with GOAT status now, it seems like.
Now, if you ask me 10 years from now, yeah, I think Rob is probably finna go down as a GOAT, but you can't put that on him, not yet, though. And it's just like, as much as I want to say Ilya is a GOAT, I can't put that on him yet because he did have 2 victories over 2 former GOATs, but I want to see him do a little bit more in the featherweight division before I put that GOAT status on him, too.
Straight up. Hey, Isaiah, we appreciate your
Hit the like button, too.
Yeah, please hit the like and subscribe. But, so, if we were Dana White and we were giving out our own awards, our KO of the night would have went to...
Yeah, Zach Reese, he got starched.
Yeah, this was Makhachev pretty much just laid him out. You can see him looking at the rough, lights off, nobody home. Lights on, nobody home, I should say. And that's what I was talking about when he was on his back. He kind of started trying to turn to the side, and that bottom left picture is where he caught the knockout blow. And then after he caught that knockout blow, he just fell back to his back, like how you see him with the referee on him, like, "Hey, are you okay?"
Yeah, yeah.
And basically, his head bounced off the canvas, and the ref is contemplating right now: do I need to give this guy mouth to mouth?
Yeah, I got it in sequence from the takedown, and you see the shot at the top right, and then in the bottom left. That's how he was out in the bottom left picture. He's already out, and the referee stopped the fight. And when he stopped the fight, he just fell flat back, and he was done. This is pretty brutal.
Yeah. Hey, they're gonna have one of them cartoons about him.
Yeah, bro, those cartoons be so hilarious.
Yep, he got sent to the shadow realm.
Beat down of the night.
Yeah, this was a very disappointing outcome, but the beatdown of the night goes to Guskov destroying Rinya Nakamura. You can see it right here. That's just 2 of the drops. He probably got dropped like 3 or 4 times.
Well, I got 3 of them up there. You got the one to the top left, top right, and then the bottom one there's another drop too.
And that overhand right is just landing perfectly on it's kind of like on the shoulder, like on the chest, but like he hitting that chin, and that overhand right was the one that was catching him all night long. Like he couldn't see it coming. He couldn't get a read on it. So that was definitely beat down of the night. That was also one of the fights where somebody lost their
Yep. And now to go over the rankings. I don't know if you can see that, bro. Can you see that or no? Or is it too small?
Nah, I can't really see it.
Basically, I got to everybody out there. My brother did beat me last year in the total rankings for the whole year. I'm trying to make a comeback, and I got to get revenge and get him this year. So this one I got 9 and you got 5.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Sopaj, you picked Turkios, I picked Sopaj. I picked Eileen Perez, you picked Carl Rosa. You picked Diego Ferreira, I picked Grant Dawson. We both picked Zachary Reese, we both picked Peyton Talbot, we both picked Kevin Holland. We both picked Johnson Almeida, and I picked Yuri. You picked Jamal Hill. We both picked Makhachev.
Yeah, I gotta do better.
That's all right. We're gonna come back. John Dong. How would light heavyweight Johnson do against DDP Strickland or comes up after y'all move to light heavyweight? Johnson Almeida, he'll beat Strickland. DDP, he won't beat. Comes out, he won't beat. What do you say, bro?
I could agree with that. I think DDP is just
underrated.
He's underrated, but he's also like because nothing he does looks right, people think he can't do it. It's weird. But yeah, DDP is definitely underrated. I do see him winning against Sean Strickland, and I feel like I could see a path to victory for Sean Strickland against Almeida if he could survive. If he could survive the first 7 minutes, if he could survive the first round, the onslaught of getting taken down and not get submitted, I can see Johnson Almeida getting tired. I do feel like last night in that fight against Sergey Spivak, even though it ended in the first round, I could see him like just starting to slow down a little bit. So I don't know. I think that'll be a problem. But overall, I think if I had to put my money on it, I would put my money on Jonathan Almeida in that fight against Sean Strickland. And I feel like I would put my money on Hamzat against Jonathan Almeida. And who was it? DDP?
Yeah, DDP. John Dunn also asked, would light heavyweight Johnson beat current Alex Pereira? No way, no how.
I mean, I don't. Again, it's all because it's hard to say because I feel like if you can take him down, then possibly.
Yeah.
But I just feel like if Pereira definitely survived the first round, he'll get the knockout in the second or the third. And I'm not going to say if he could take him down, because let's be honest, Almeida can take anybody down. The way he pick up these heavyweights and just like slam them down, yeah, I could see a path to victory on that one too. You know what I don't understand?
What's up?
Everybody looking at Uncle Ayev like he just going to take down and destroy Alex Pereira when it's like whenever you see him use his wrestling.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
But
I think Poetine gonna knock him out, but that's a discussion for the future. Though.
Yeah, man. Y'all be sure to tune in. Oh no, there is no Man Talk Monday this week, is it?
No, I don't believe so. I just pulled up next week's fight. I got an early start time because we're in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Getting the A-Route money, and it's going to be 12 noon. Starting off with the prelims, and it's going to be a lot of good fights on the card. Starting off with Jamal Pugs. I seen him fight once. I'm interested to see how that's going to turn out. This guy right here, Faraz Ziam. He the one that knocked out Matt Favola, right?
Yeah, nasty knee. That could have been considered in there with KO of the year. That was a kind of honorable mention.
We got Terrence McKinney fighting. He always exciting. Jordan Levitt, not a fan of him at all. Hopefully he get knocked out. Shamil Gaziev. Yeah, he tired out last time I seen him. I'm not impressed with him.
Yeah, I was against Rogan's fight.
Muhammad Naimov. Ikram Adaskarov.
Andre Muniz. That should be a good fight.
Ikram should win that one though.
Saeed
Nurmagomedov
versus Vinicius Oliveira.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm going Vinicius all day. I know you are too. Jairzinho Rosen's fight versus Sergey Pavlovich. Didn't know that fight was happening.
Me either.
Somebody going to bed. Shower Bullet versus MVP. Who you got?
I want MVP to win, but I don't know, man. That's gonna be hard to pick. And the main event. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, bro. In this one, I'm leaning towards Imanov, bro. Imovov, I mean. Yeah.
How come?
I just feel like he kind of like DDP. Like he got a style where it's not super impressive and nothing that he does, but he's very technically sound and he's very good. And I feel like he's very defensively sound too. Like he don't really get caught out of position, you know.
Yeah, he does.
And it's gonna be kind of like an awkward style with him and Stylebender. Like I don't see like it could be in the banger, you know. I feel like they both are kind of like counter strikers. So being out of Sonny's a counter striker, I don't think he's gonna be able to get Imavov out of there. Hopefully, I'm wrong though, but
Yeah, I'm pulling for Izzy all day, man.
yeah, hopefully he. Well, I want him to win, but I don't think he's gonna do it. I don't know.
Yeah, he need a dub. But if Imavov win this fight, that put him right up there. And this division is starting to get logjam.
Outlaw 77 said, excellent breakdown, fellas. Was preoccupied most of the night. I feel all caught up now. That's what we here for. The MMA brothers bringing it to you like no other. Let's go.
Yes, sir. And with that being said, we appreciate everybody joining in. Thank you to the Twitter audience. Thank you to the YouTube audience. Hit the like, subscribe to the channel. And that's pretty much it for me.
Yep. Enjoy football Sunday. Bills and Ravens. You got the Eagles and Rams.
Yeah, man. I'm finna try to get me some more money.
Let's do it. Peace.
All right, peace.
Come take a walk through my heart, a stroll through my soul. Being smart from the start, wasn't taught, wasn't told. You could climb through my mind, or fly through my eye. And in time you will find what I rhyme is not a lie. Come take a walk through my heart, a stroll through my soul. Being smart from the start, wasn't taught, wasn't told. You could climb through my mind, or fly through my eye. And in time you will find